We're very flat at the start. My mum's going to be sewing and I'm going to be doing nothing.
Oh, great.
So you go. Off with it.
Right, where would we get up to?
So, well, you carried on.
Yes, I've been making up the blocks, and I have sewn quite a lot of the blocks together. I've just got one more block to do.
Well, that's it, and you finished the quilt.
No, just the blocks of the actual pattern.
Make sure that everybody can hear us. They always get to a point where there's no talking.
I know. I'm just going to get this in.
There you go. There we go.
Right.
Okay, I can see any comments that come through. If they come through.
Right, I'm going to just do this one, and I can.
So, Mum, what have you done?
I was getting carried away, wasn't I?
So you've done one strip already on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And that's the length of the twisted pole
Yep.
quilt. And then you're going to do how many across? 4?
It's 4. 4 of the blocks
Across.
across.
So she's going to have it so it's going doop, 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 doop across the mattress.
A blank space.
And then there's going to be a blank space in the middle that we're not quite sure what we're going to do with yet.
I don't know if just to leave it plain white. I think I was going to thinking about putting something in the middle of it, but I thought, well, no.
There's not really it's a tight middle.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it white because I like white anyway.
What you could do to break up some of the white is do like a thin, do you know like how I've got that border around that placemat that I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Could do a thin border of yellow. Just to break up the white.
Yeah. That'd be nice, yeah.
It's like you could do like a rectangle going through your quilt kind of thing.
I'm not plugged in.
Go and plug
I think that's what I was doing when you dropped the pins.
Oh.
There. Oh, I'll leave the iron on.
Yeah, so I'll put my pins on the ladder and then knock them all off. And then we have to pick them all up. It was a fun time.
Playing games first thing in the morning.
I did it. It was my fault.
I don't know if I like this better than the thingy actually.
You can do that because I don't need it right now. I've also printed out about Walter Hunt, the inventor. So I'm going to read this.
All right.
While you're sewing.
Who's that?
And we can have a chit chat. I think we came across him when we did our podcast that time on the single sewing machine.
Oh yeah, that was quite funny though.
There's a lot of people that have had their hand in the sewing machine invention. But anyway. So you're going to continue on with your half square triangles.
Right.
As we're doing this. Did you square them up to 5 inches?
Yes.
Of all of them squared up to 5 inches?
Yes. Ooh, that's what I was doing yesterday. I was getting carried away.
You didn't do the ones across though. At the top.
What do you mean?
You used them at the top going across.
No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, is it only at the bottom?
Okay.
Okay.
The pillows a bit there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, what have I done?
Okay, so Walter Hunt. I got this from the Wikipedia, by the way, if anybody's interested. I don't know whether it's facts or fiction or whatever, but that's where I got my resource from. I didn't do any of this digging or researching. So, Walter Hunt, July 29th, 1796 to June the 8th, 1859, was an American mechanical engineer. Through the course of his work, he became known for being a prolific inventor. He got first involved with mechanical innovations in a linseed producing community in New York State that had flax mills. While in New York City to promote his inventions, he got involved in inventing the streetcar gong.
Gong.
I thought, okay, you did the streetcar, and then it went gong.
What is a streetcar gong?
That was used throughout the United States. This then led him to invent other useful items like the safety pin and the sewing machine.
Safety pin.
He invented the precursor to the repeating rifle and a fountain pen. About 24 of his inventions are used today in basically the same form as he had painted them. In spite of his many useful innovative creations, he never became wealthy since he sold off most of his patent rights to others at low prices with no future royalties. Others made millions of dollars from his safety pin device.
Oh my gosh, right.
I know, right? It's sad, isn't it?
It is, isn't
It's
it?
already
Yeah.
turned sad to the fucking head of paragraph.
Oh, goodness me.
This is how these stories go.
Yeah, they do. It's a shame, that, isn't it?
So Walter Hunt was born July 29th, 1796 in the town of Martinsburg in Lewis County in the state of New York. He was the firstborn child of Sherman Hunt and Rachel Hunt. He had 12 siblings. Hunt received his childhood education in a one-room schoolhouse. Hunt was muscular, tall, and slender with a ruddy complexion. It's such a weird way of describing someone.
It is, isn't it? Very.
He married Polly Lux in 1814 and they had 4 children. Hunt went to college and earned a master's degree in masonry in 1817 at the age of 21. So Hunt travelled to New York City in 1826 to get money for one of his inventions. While there, he witnessed an accident where a horse-drawn carriage ran over a child. The accident event motivated him to come up with a metal bell that was operated with a hammer that could be controlled by one's driver's feet without letting go of the horse reins. Hunt patented his new innovation on July the 30th of 1827. He promoted his concept to many prospects and eventually was able to sell his foot-operated coach alarm mechanism idea to the stagecoach operators Kip and Brown. Hunt's innovation was soon adopted by most public horse-drawn vehicles throughout the city, and Hunt's coach alarm was further developed and used throughout the United States. So Hunt was a prolific inventor from 1827 to 1830 while earning a living in the real estate field. He invented a fire engine, an improvement for hard coal burning stoves, the first home knife sharpener, a restaurant steam table apparatus. He also invented the precursor of the Winchester repeating rifle. Have you heard about Winchester?
What? No, what dream?
Winchester's like a haunted house as well, eh? Have you ever heard about the Winchester house?
No.
It's in the United States, and basically the house was haunted, and they kept on building like house after house after house after house after house, and there's like stairways that go to nowhere. There's rooms that the doors don't open, like to try and fool the ghosts.
Okay.
And it was the family, the Winchester family, invented the Winchester rifle. And I think something happened with one of the rifles as well with one of the family members. I can't remember. But this whole film on like the hauntings of the Winchester house. It got a bit silly towards the end, but it was quite good at the beginning.
No,
And there's a lot of like ghost hunters that have done like tours around it.
Oh right, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a really weird house, and the person who started building, they won't stop building. There's constant building going on because the house is so haunted.
Oh right.
And they reckon that if they stop building or whatever, then it's gonna get
Do they know
worse or something.
who's haunting it?
I have no idea,
No.
and I'm not a haunted channel. And the forerunner of the American fountain pen as used in the 20th century. Additionally, Hunt invented a flax spinner, an improv oil lamp, artificial stone, the first rotary street sweeping machine, mail sorting machinery, velocipedes, and ice plows. He also made improvements to guns, that's the first word I can't pronounce, bullets, icebreaking wooden hull boats, paraffin oil candles, machines for making rifles and nails, and self-closing inkwells. He also invented the anti-Podidon performer's suction cup shoe, claimed to be used by circus performers to ascend up solid side walls and walk upside down across high ceilings. He did not realise the significance of many of his inventions when he produced them, and sold off most of his patent rights to others for low prices, making little for himself in the long run. In the 20th century, many of his patented devices were widely used everyday common products.
Why is he doing that?
I don't know.
He's inventing all this stuff and just getting rid of all his patents.
I guess it was in an era that they didn't realise that they could make so much money out of him, but I don't know. Sewing machine. He developed the first modern feasible operating sewing machine sometime between the years 1835 and 1837 at his Amos Street shop that was up a narrow alley in Abingdon Square at the borough of Manhattan in the city of New York. He manufactured and sold a few of these machines at the time. He never initially patented the mechanical device he created that used a Lockstitch for sewing. It had a characteristic of an eye-pointed needle and used two threads, whereby one thread passed through a twisted loop in the other thread and then both interlocked. The uniqueness of this was that it was the initial time an engineer or technician inventor was not imitated a single stitch done by hand and used two interlocking threads at a seam. He used a technique for sewing which was revolutionary at the time. The eye opening was near the point of the needle and operated on a vibrating arm, and a loop was formed under the cloth by this thread, through which a shutter reeling off another thread was forced back and forth, making an interlocking stitch. Hunt completed his working model before he showed it to anyone. Hunt sold one half of the patent rights in 1834 to a businessman and blacksmith, George A. Arrowsmith, who never manufactured to sell. He instead had Hunt's wooden version duplicated in iron by Anderman, Hunt's brother, Andrew was a skilled mechanic and duplicated the original wooden version. It performed better with no splinters of wood impeded the passage of the cloth. Arrowsmith had no interest patenting the sewing machine, then had decided to postpone that step for a later time. He gave as reasons for not procuring a patent that 1, he was busy with other business. So busy. Leave me alone. Busy. The expense of getting the appropriate drawings and paperwork together to register the patent, and more than he could afford. And 3, the difficulty introducing the new sewing machine into public use, saying it would have cost $2,000, an equivalent to $54,290 in 2021.
Okay.
That's more than some real expensive sewing and embroidery machines.
Yeah.
Well, a lot more.
Yeah. A lot more.
Or 3,000, equivalent to 81,400. It gets worse.
Heavens above.
To start the sewing machine business, had he seen a newspaper article entitled "Sewing by Machinery" of December 1835 and January 1836, that was in many nationwide newspapers, he may have applied for a patent right away, because it said that a mechanic of Rochester had invented a machine for making clothes, which could therefore take place of fingers and thimbles. There's already people in the works.
Hey, so what's everybody else doing? Is anybody else working on anything?
Nobody else is here.
Oh, right. It's too early in the morning.
Hunt did not seek a patent for his sewing machine at the time because he was worried it would create unemployment with seamstresses.
Oh, right.
History records show that his wife and daughter advised him against marketing his sewing apparatus. Hunt's daughter Caroline operated a corset-making shop with 12 seamstress ladies and was watching out for their interest and thousands of other seamstresses. This ultimately led to a court case in 1854 when the Lockstitch sewing machine concept was applied for by Elias Howe in a patent application. Hunt submitted his initial application for his 1834 sewing machine on April 2nd, 1853. Records at the Supreme Court show Hunt's invention was made before Howe's machine, and the Patent Office identifies Hunt's pre-existence, but it did not issue a patent to him for this. The reason was because he had not filed out the proper paperwork for his patent before Howe's paperwork application, and had abandoned the design experiment of the 1830s. Hunt acquired public acknowledgement for his invention. However, Howe's official patent remained lawful because of the technicality of the time of the paperwork. Isaac Singer arranged to give Hunt $50,000, equivalent of $1 million, like $1.5 million, in installments for his sewing machine design in 1858, in order to clear up the patent confusion about the sewing machine. But Hunt died before Singer was able to consummate the agreement.
Oh dear.
So the safety pin. Hunt thought little of the safety pin. So can we just go back to the fact that his daughter and wife, was it, were working in a corset shop?
All right.
Why did he think little of the safety pin?
I don't know. Why?
Hunt thought this leather safety pin his best known invention. He sold his patent for it for $400, the equivalent of $13,000 in 2021.
God, that's a lot, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Is it not?
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And W.R. Grace and Company to pay a draftsman he owed $15, to the equivalent of $490. J.R. Chaplin. What?
I keep losing this. I have to keep checking the patterns up, isn't it? That's
Here we go. The arrows go like this.
yeah.
J.R. Chaplin pressured Hunt to pay off what was due to him for the drafting work he had done on previous inventions that needed patent drawings for application submissions. Hunt came up the safety pin in 1849 through experimentation of high tension wire. His invention was an improvement on the current way clothing items were attached together before, because of a protective clasp at the end and the coiled wire design with a spring tension on the pointed end leg to keep it in the protective clasp even if the pin device was moved around. The basic design is the same in the 12th century as when Hunt came up with the device in the 19th century, and is manufactured inexpensively now. The W.R. Grace and Company made millions of dollars profit off the products. One of Hunt's popular inventions was the paper shirt collar.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh, right. No, I didn't know that, but I remember
It sounded
that.
like you know that. But, yeah.
I know, but it's like, oh, I remember them wearing, the history goes back that the wallpaper.
But you were around in 1836.
Could have been.
This time he sold the patent design and negotiated for royalty payments, but the item only became popular after he died.
It's always the case, isn't it? Eh?
The unusual item was first put on sale in New York City in 1854 and used then mostly for stage purposes. In time, it became fashionable and the general public then started using them. High production of the item came about, and at one time, there were as many as 40 factories making paper collars in the United States.
Gave people jobs, didn't it? All the jobs.
The manufactured output in 1868 became 400,000 that were sold to the general public. Hunt often used the legal services and patent research work of Charles Grafton Page, a certified patents lawyer who had worked at a patent office before when seeking a potential patent for one of his inventions. His inventions covered a wide variety of fields and subjects. About 24 of Hunt's inventions are still used in the form in which he created them over 100 years ago. Some of Hunt's important inventions are shown below the patent drawings. So the fountain pen, the safety pin, the sewing machine, and the nail making machine.
Wow.
Oh, and there's some more. Swivel cap stopper, the firing repeating gun pattern, an inkstand, and an ice boat.
Ice boat?
Now, is that an ice boat to put ice in it at the table, or is it an actual boat? I don't know.
I don't know. Come on.
So Hunt created numerous usable everyday inventions in his lifetime, however he never became independently wealthy from them. He died of pneumonia at his place of business in New York on June the 8th, 1859. He is in Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, New York. His grave is marked by a small red granite shaft about 100 feet from Howe's massive bust monument. So, Hunt was inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame in 2006 for the safety pin invention. Many of Hunt's invention ideas are in actual use today and are basically the same device as when he painted them more than 100 years ago. And some of those others besides the safety pin and the sewing machine are a device which regulates the amount of liquid that comes from a bottle with each tilt. A bottle stopper, springy attachments for adjustments to belts and suspenders, and a nail making machine.
Well, he did a lot of stuff.
Wasn't that
he?
interesting?
He did a lot of things, didn't he? And got nothing bigly out of it.
No, he didn't. It wasn't as salacious as Singer's thing.
No.
But it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And if you want to read it for yourself, you can go to Wikipedia and read it and pronounce all the words that I couldn't.
There's always words in there that you can't pronounce.
Me in particular, or everybody?
No, I think everybody. I think everybody struggles with things, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Of course they do.
You did one block during that. Did you want to?
I have some made up already. I've joined something more already. And this is what I did earlier.
It's like Blue Peter.
It is, yes. I don't think many people know that, are they?
No, they won't. Blue Peter was a kiddie show. I'm watching you. And it's a cold day today.
It is.
It's something like minus, I want to say like minus 28 degrees, I think, Celsius out there. It's very cold. I went outside and pushed some of my snow out of the way and I came back, so it was kind of like a pointless
It's really good, this board, isn't it?
It's very good. I love that board.
It's fantastic.
So my mum is using the design board in which to place her quilt on.
It's really, really cool, especially making something big like this.
And you can see it in the background. The twisted quilt block is coming to life.
It is. I could have done it without you. Could not have done it without you, really. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, this will give me the confidence to be able to do it on my own sometime.
Yeah, I'm just going to make you do it live every single day until you get to know it. Anyway, I'm going to let the good people of the internet go.
Okay, bye-bye, thank you. Let us know what you're working on.
Yes, let us know what you're working
What you're
on.
working on.
Comment down below. And thank you for watching.
Thank you, bye-bye.